It is April the 7th, 2020 at about 9:47. I was sick yesterday. Actually, I did two videos and I got sick. I didn't sleep at all. I may have fallen in and out of sleep between 7 and 9. I finally got up and then I stayed awake again. Listen, as you get older, you've got to watch out what you eat. And I think I found out what the problem was. I was burping every half a minute. This was phenomenal. I took every antacid I had in the house: Pepto-Bismol, Alka-Seltzer, one of those pills like Prilosec, and nothing stopped it the whole night. Like I said, if I got any minor sleep, that would be understatement. Now let me say this: didn't feel the consequences because I was in bed that long. So my body rest, but my mind probably only rested about a third. So wanted to tell you, we're talking about old folks here. I'm sorry, old timers, and whether you're a guy or a gal, welcome. I hope to maybe make a series of these. This will be the first one. I may label it first one. Then that way you can track them. I learned that in college. Now we're working. We almost returned this $50 computer from eBay, and I worked with it a little bit more and got it working as my best computer I have, because the other ones have pretty well died. It says Dell, DELL, Latitude, FE, no, E6430. Okay, some of you have been reading my long-term COVID releases on the great internet. So I just wanted to add a few things I forgot to say. Then that's it for long COVID, which whether had it one time or 4 times, I think I've had it 3 or 4. I know I had it 3. I had the symptoms of a 4th one. It doesn't matter. You can get long COVID. The problem is the doctors don't want to talk about it because there's so many symptoms that can pop up and not only go away after treated, but pop back up again. And then all of a sudden new symptoms, maybe a year later, start coming. That's what I thought was happening yesterday. Last night, I'm sitting there and it's like I had hiccup. That's what I meant to say, hiccup, about every minute, really, and if not more. And then I don't see UFOs, so I'm telling you the truth on this one. This leg felt like someone took a sword and just rammed it right through from the hip down. Try getting out of bed and go to the restroom a few times when you feel like you have a sword through your left leg. I thought, oh, it's finally come to this. I always wanted to, one of those fancy canes now, I have to buy one. But it wasn't funny. It's not funny now. I had to grab on to going up the stairs where the beds are and coming down. I got hold of the what is it on the right that you put your hand on and go down? Armrest, not an armrest, but you know what I mean. I thought, now this is the strangest thing. This is why I said I didn't see UFOs. At this moment, all the pain I experienced last night and up until about 5 o'clock, as of this moment, has disappeared. Didn't take a Tylenol. Thought about it. I thought, well, that's not good for your liver. And there'll be time for Tylenol if I want to go to sleep early. I could barely make it in the restroom, take a shower. I had to hold on to anything that wouldn't cause me to fall. So I've done research here on YouTube about it. The doctors are unsure how to treat it, what to treat for, what to look for. Whether it's a Mayo Clinic or Cleveland Clinic, they both have long COVID doctors, but how many times do you want to ask a doctor, can I get a second opinion on your long COVID diagnosis? They would be so insulted, wouldn't they? Okay, so here's a couple things that, and I won't stay on this very long, but if you're having these symptoms and have had COVID, or perhaps been around with someone with COVID, the number one thing that causes a lot of the other situations that happen, like headaches, brain fog, not being able to smell or taste, it's because the blood slowed down. The blood has gotten thicker because you had COVID. Doesn't matter if you had it one time or 4 times. I don't think I had it either 3 or 4. And I can tell you for sure the blood does slow down because the fatigue is the number one let's say symptom that people report. Weakness, I was getting that even equal amount. Weakness. I just fall down at the steps outside coming into the porch. My knees gave out. It wasn't memory fog, that's the third one. The memory fog is you can't recall what you're trying to recall. Then you start like me wondering, do I have Alzheimer's disease? It's just, well, I'm not going to say anything to the doctor about that because I know the number of tests and referrals to other people. And it's just probably nothing but going through a stage of getting over this COVID thing. They'd have me like Chris Christopherson, the singer that just died. They'd have me going to the nursing home. Why were they going to put Christopherson in the nursing home? His brain fog, lack of memory. But one doctor that's dead now, he went to see. He was considered a fake, Dr. Whitaker. Considered a fake because not only was he credentialed as a heart surgeon, which should give people something to think about, because he had a mail-order vitamin. Not just one, just a whole routine. Example, here comes a mailer from him, and he's promoting a new product, a new pill. I guess women and men both could take it. It says, guaranteed to make you pee like a teenager again. I'll repeat that because you probably thought, I don't believe what I said. How to pee like a teenager again. And daggone, that was guaranteed, and I didn't even order it. And I wanted to order it, and I kept forgetting day after day after day. If it didn't work, all you had to do was call. You didn't even have to return it. We learn too late sometimes. Old Timers Club, is that what we're going to call this? Old timers. That would include both guys and gals. I felt like this wasn't going to exclude the youngsters, because they'll need some of this information when they get older. So what causes a lot of the problems that we're having with long COVID or continuous COVID is the thickness of the blood is getting thicker, and it can't carry the oxygen it needs as fast as it used to. And also everything about walking and everything else becomes slower. And then if you're feeling slower, you don't want to exercise. So you're not even going to go out to the mailbox and back, but maybe once every 3 days. Or if you're like me, once every 5 days. They're just people wanting me to buy Medicare or to buy a burial spot anyhow. So I get a big stack of them. I read them. If they got a self-addressed stamped envelope in it, which very few do anymore, I might do something out of the ordinary. I used to publish books, and I'd put my advertisements in that return envelope and mail them back. I've gotten orders that way, by the way. People have bought my books that way because I have sample poems on those pages. I'm pretty smart, aren't I? Went to college for this. Okay, now there's got to be some other things. I wanted the topic to be, for us old timers, do you remember when you were younger? Do you remember? I was going to say that the first kiss you got, but if you haven't gotten one yet, it's not the right thing to say. Do you remember the first guys or girls that you had a crush on? Do you remember your first car? Don't these bring back memories that you can't even think were that happy? We've gone a long way you decide for yourself if it was a good way or a bad way. But back then, you know, the biggest mistake I can remember is this one beautiful girl that I met. I was always late picking her up, and once her dad had told her, if he's late next time, just don't be here. I remember it like it was yesterday, but it was in high school or college. High school, I think. Well, can you believe this one? Nancy Butler. Just the perfect person for me. I'd meet with her. We'd talk during breaks and after school and everything. And I was so numb to people liking me, or maybe wanting to go out with me, that she says, I sure wish we could be together a lot more often. Now listen to this. This was in high school. This was in the 10th or 11th grade. And you know how most of us are now there. Our hormones are raging and all this stuff. And you want to be with that person all the time. Well, I didn't have a car to drive. And I know that enters into the mix of things. And I said, well, look, we're getting together every possible time while we're in school. As if that was enough. And it stopped there, the conversation did not continue. We still dated about once a week. If I remember right, at that time I was over 16. My dad did let me use his car. So Nancy Wilson, if you're listening, let me know. Let me know. I know things have changed. We look different now. But our spirits and souls may be the same. Maybe you were a soulmate. Okay, what else went on? Oh God, I don't even want to mention this. I hurt myself. And I was limping, and this girl who I was dating, she didn't like a guy that limped and was outwardly showing maybe what I described last night happened, where someone felt like they stabbed a sword down my leg. But this was going on for a month, okay? This was an injury. And other guys took it as a opportunity to say he can't drive anymore because of his injury. Could we just get together and talk? And she was out of my life. She was out of my life. I did meet some people, because I am close, within an hour and a half from where I went to high school. I did ask people about her, about Nancy, and this other person's name's Diane. Diane, they told me, keeps going through a lot of marriages. So I thought, is that good for me or is that bad for me? What if she's single right now? But I'm married. So no hanky-panky there. What else can I tell you about childhood? And you should write your stuff on childhood. Or this isn't childhood, this is real life when you're a teenager and above. Tell you one more story and we'll close it down because we've gone 20 minutes, and here's what I'm saying. In college, my view of myself is as low as your view of yourself ever was. It took a heck of a lot for me to ask a girl out on a date. Sometimes I was lucky and got a date, and I thought, she seems to like me. I think I'll call her up for a date. So I called another date, second date. I called up, second date. I didn't say that. I said, would you be interested in going to see the concert, Blood, Sweat, and Tears? See, we went to the concerts for free. When they came, Rolling Stones or whoever. The students got a free pass, and of course you could take a date. Well, the dates were students there. So I was doing that. That way the car wasn't an issue, gasoline wasn't an issue, unless you went out to eat afterwards. And I did have a car, a 1953 Chevy then that I bought for about $150. And all the guys in my dormitory, which became an apartment later on because I moved, they wanted to know, is a girl going to come back after she saw what you drove, a 53 Chevy? And they were surprised when I said, yeah. Yeah, she's coming back. Okay, so on the second date, sucked tall for the second date. And, I love our time together and this, that, and the other. And I said, well, Blood, Sweat, and Tears or Rolling Stones or Beatles or someone, they're going to be down here at the auditorium at Western Kentucky University. Would you like to join me for that? Okay, you ready for this? In different words, it was, I wish you'd have called earlier. I already have a commitment. Okay. I've been told no before. I know what it feels like. So, there we go. The answer is no. Call another girl, ask her out. I'm going to be out of town that week, and another no. I'm doing good. I'm on a roll. And some years later, I run into these people. Some years later. And they said, we were always wanting you to call back. We were wondering why you didn't. And I was truthful. I said, well, the easiest way to tell me no is to say you have another commitment. And when you said you had another commitment, I took it as a no. They said no. They almost called me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was not popular. I'm an introvert, as you can tell. So I want to thank all of you for doing this. It takes guts to know You don't know what you're going to talk about, but you're going to hope not too many people drop out before the first 2 minutes. If you like this kind of get together, you can hit subscribe. Hit the top one though. The top one says you'll know it when I first come on. And that sounds conceited. I say that because I know there's so many millions of people on it that if I can edge it up just a little bit by saying just keep hitting membership till you can hit the top membership. No cost either. That's another thing I got to tell you folks about. Watch out for this. People have decided that they're not making enough, so they will route you to two things: their PayPal account, where you can donate because you like them, or they may have live sessions on YouTube, and there'll be a PayPal account. It'll say, buy me a cup of coffee, $5. I look at this and I think, there's lots of ways of making money. I'm afraid that I'm not going to do that anymore. I've sold books door to door for 2 summers to make money to go to college. I've delivered papers and slipped down and almost broke both legs over 2 years of going up and down apartments. On one route that I had about 5 routes. I was making good money. I liked it. I started that when I was age 14. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have finished high school because I hated high school. Shall we shut it down and I'll see what feedback comes in, and if you got some ideas for old timers, men or women, or youngsters that I should be preaching to. Yep, I was a preacher once. Now I know some of you are sorry I was. Others were glad. Baptist preacher, Southern Baptist. I was one of the Southern Baptists that meant what I talked about. Now they're mega churches, They're mega churches, not just Baptists or Southern Baptists. All these churches you see, huge. Well, all you got to do is turn on TV, TBN or any of those stations, and I subscribe to a report called the Roys Report, ROYS Report, and it's free. Just look it up on Google and go to it. Oh, the sins are bared open that these mega church preachers are doing. I'm talking about you would not believe what's going on, and it's harmful. It's harmful if you have no religious upbringing, but if you know the upbringing, you know what they're preaching's not true. And when they get caught, they're getting caught mostly by misconduct in the adultery or fornication field. Just let you know that. Roys, ROYS report. The lady that runs it, her last name's Roy. I forgot her first name. Hey, have you enjoyed this? We've gone a whole half an hour of having fun. just let me know what you think, or if you prefer not to think. If you want to subscribe, there's a button there, supposed to be, but I get a new subscription about once a month. You take care.